is Tevin Ellis. I'm part of NAACP, and this is Purple Pride.
Welcome to another episode of Purple Pride. I'm your host, Shanique Williams. Today, our guest is SFA's NAACP Unit 6812 President Alexander Evans. He will inform us with knowledge about nationally known organization NAACP and what exactly it is they do here at SFA. First of all, I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Alexander Evans. I'm a senior here at Stephen F. Austin State University, currently majoring in business administration. I'm a president of NAACP here at Stephen F. Austin, and also vice president of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay, so for those people who don't know what NAACP stands for, what does it mean?
It stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Okay, so what are some of the principles, like the basic principles?
Well, basically, NAACP is basically founded to stand on a lot of different things as far as civil rights, but also what it does is, like the title says, empower people. And so we touch on things as far as health, economic empowerment, civil engagement, which is community service. We touch on basically a lot of different things because, of course, it's not always civil injustice, but there's also other things that we feel needs to empower others, people of color, and not always people of color as well, you know, different races and stuff like that.
Okay, so as of today, what are some issues that NAACP is targeting?
The last major issue that we were dealing with just nationally was just making sure that everybody who wanted to vote was able to vote. So making sure that we were registering people. And so we had a lot of different registration drives, and there was a lot of stuff going on nationally, and making sure that people were aware of everything that they needed to bring with them when they went to go vote, things that they didn't need to when they went to go vote, where to go vote, things of that nature. And so that was a real big national incentive that NAACP pushed on.
So do you guys are you only involved on campus, or are you involved with Nacogdoches?
Well, this is a college chapter, so we do heavily do more stuff at SFA, but the Nacogdoches chapter here is not currently active, and so we actually do a lot of stuff in the community as well, things like the MLK Day March and other community service things that we do, and so they know us, and we communicate with them. And we do various things in the community whenever they ask us.
Okay, and how long have you been president?
2 years.
2 years?
Well, it'll be 2 years in May.
Okay, so
yeah,
terms.
and so I've recently, well, I've basically kind of been acting as president since I got into NAACP my freshman year.
Oh, so you kind of just took charge.
I kind of fell behind the older members, and they kind of just showed me everything, and then from there, I've pretty much been running the show.
So what all does your job, like what do you have to do? What are your responsibilities as president?
Me as president, I'm really just the manager. I facilitate everything. I make sure that people are handling their business as far as programs, that they're doing certain events, that they're taking care of this. So basically, it's not my job to do everything, but making sure that everybody's in the right spot.
Do you have people that help you out, officers or anything?
Yeah, that would be my executive board. My executive board would be my vice president, my second vice president, my secretaries, things of that nature. And so they're basically like my right-hand people. So without them, I wouldn't be able to get anything done. So I heavily rely on my exec board and my committee chairs for us to actually be able to do our work in the organization.
So like what are your meetings like? What is a typical meeting like?
Well, typical meeting in NAACP is very, it's a lot of energy. We always start off with our song, Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is the national anthem for NAACP. So we always sing that, and then we always inform people about stuff that we got going on. We talk about a lot of different social issues that we want to make people aware about. Certain topics that we talked about at one point was, is this a lost generation, as far as not having any type of major leaders that we used to compared to other generations. And so our meetings is always very impactful, and we always want to make sure that people leave out with something more than what they came in.
That's good. So how do you get people into your meetings? What do you guys do around?
I have a membership committee, and basically what they do is they put together little programs and little things to kind of get people in, kind of excite them, make them kind of understand what NAACP is. And then from there, once it comes to the meetings, we usually get them hooked. And so, and so we definitely, try and do other little stuff because a lot of students just don't know about different organizations.
Yeah, so what kind of programs do you guys do to get them hooked?
Well, we actually have a program today. It's simple, it's just a little game tournament. A lot of students like playing Call of Duty or NBA 2K, and for certain people who kind of like Just Dance, we're gonna have that. Basically, it's a little tournament. If you win, you get a prize. But what we do with that is that we ask people, are you members of NAACP? And if not, we talk to them about NAACP, and we get them to sign up to be members. And so it's just a great way for us to be members.
So y'all really get them hooked with
like
the games and stuff.
Yeah, so you find a way to get them hooked, and then you get them to stay.
Okay, so I know NAACP is in a lot of universities. Do y'all interact with any of the other ones?
In Texas, well, actually, Texas has for 3 years been the best state as far as NAACP is included. We have the most active college chapters. To name a few would be TSU, U of H, TCU, Sam Houston, UTSA, and so we have these different conferences that we go on. We interact with each other. We let each other know different programs that we got going on. This is how we get members. This is things that we're doing. These are certain issues, and so they're kind of like our best friends away from SFA. And so whenever we meet them, it's kind of like a little family reunion.
Okay, so what kind of what are the conference like? What are
Well, basically with the conferences, they have a lot of different workshops. Recently, one of the workshops was speaking about men stepping up and women stepping up to kind of be the leaders that they need to be. As far as like, has there been role reversals and how men need to be men. But they also have, once again, workshops on civil engagement, voting empowerment, things of that nature. So you always leave from the conferences learning a lot more than what you did coming in. And they have wonderful keynote speakers. I think recently they had the Secretary of Education there. So he talked for a little while about what his new incentives was going to be. And so it's a great networking thing, and you always meet a lot of great people.
How often do you guys meet up for these conferences?
We go on at least 3 conferences a year, state, regional, and national. And then we have a few quarterly meetings, which is just all the different units meeting up together, talking about things that's going on.
Who puts together these meetings? Is it just college-based, or is NAACP?
The state of NAACP are the Texas chapters all together. Find a location, they vote on it, and then they let us know, and then we go from there.
Are these all college students?
This is the adult chapters.
Adult chapters, okay.
Yeah, so the adult chapters pretty much tell us where they want us to meet, what they want us to do. So it's kind of a hierarchy. You have the adult chapters, then you have the college chapters, and then you have the youth chapters, which is high school and under.
I didn't know they had it in high school.
Yeah, they had
Taught me something
a lot,
today.
A lot of people don't know it, but there are youth chapters. In fact, it's a few members in my e-board now who actually moved up from the youth chapter up to the college chapter, and so that's what they want to do. Keep them in there.
You plan on moving up?
I plan on moving to the Houston chapter.
You know you like to become boss real quick, so
yeah,
you plan on taking over?
The plan, I do eventually want to be a city president, but that will take a long road. Most city presidents are way into their 60s, so we'll see how that works out, but that is a goal of mine, to stay in NAACP.
So I'm going to talk about just SFA's chapter 6812.
Right.
How do you want people to perceive you guys?
I want them to perceive us as a group that is a family. You know, anybody that's in NAACP, we know each other on a first name basis. We hang out with each other outside of SFA. I also want them to know that we're the type to where if there's something that you need, that we're going to take care of it. If it's some type of social injustice, if you want to be educated on something as far as how to get financial aid or how to do this is what NAACP was for, and so you want to be able to continue to do that because it's always been about empowering others.
So, okay, you have people that talk about education, social injustices. Are there different committees for those things?
There's various different committees. Once again, I have a economic empowerment committee. I have a health committee. I have a community service committee. I have a political action committee. And all these separate committees meet on their own separate time. They're actually like a little president of their own organization. The committees is really what makes up NAACP because they do a lot of outside stuff that really gets our name out there so people know that we're still active and that we're still relevant. Because a lot of people perceive NAACP as not being needed anymore. So we make sure that, you know, we're still relevant and that we still are needed in the community.
So do you guys volunteer or you do volunteer work?
We actually volunteer a lot. We recently started going to the Boys and Girls Club. Also, we do a lot of things on campus. As far as like events and programs and stuff of that nature to kind of let people know about different stuff, like the committees. Basically, our committees is stuff that we focus on. So when we make an event, we figure out how does this fall into health, or how does this fall into economic empowerment, and if it doesn't, then we don't do it because it doesn't, you know, fall into what NAACP stands for.
Okay, so it's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Do you guys encourage other ethnicities to join you, or?
Exactly, because what a lot of people don't understand is that it wasn't just black individuals who helped found NAACP. It was actually mostly Caucasian people who helped found NAACP, and the only reason why it turned into mostly an all-black organization is because white and black people could not meet at the same time during the time that it was founded. And so it wasn't until way into maybe the 50s and 60s to where you saw more different race groups starting to form into it. But once again, NAACP is colored people, not just black people. And so everyone has some type of color, and we always try and express that everybody faces some type of injustice or needs something, and we want to be able to provide that help to them.
You are schooling me today. So what was your greatest moment in being the president of NAACP?
My greatest moment would have to be recently at the state convention in Corpus Christi. I won the Youth Leadership Award for the whole state of Texas. So that was a big thing for me. I didn't even know I was nominated. So I was pretty much eating my lunch, and it was like Alexander Evans. I'm like, oh, okay. So I was very excited, and that meant a lot to me.
Okay, so if you can say one thing on behalf of your unit 6812, what would it be?
I would basically say that NAACP is an organization here at SFA that I believe will continue to stay here for years on out. That if anybody's interested in actually being a part of an organization to where you'll have lifelong friends and not just people to where you can hang out with them now, that if you actually ever needed something, being just a friend, or if it's actually, you know, a real problem that needs to be spoken out about, that we're there for them, and that's pretty much about it.
So you got everybody's back. That's nice. I respect that. Okay, well, that's all the time we have on this edition of Purple Pride. I would like to thank my guest Alexander Evans once again for his time. If you'd like more information on how to get involved with SFA's NAACP Unit 6812, check out the information provided on the screen. Until next time, ask some Jacks.